Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. We got a big one for you guys today. For those, it's mostly directed for those who may be going to college and are looking for a potential career or a good idea to earn a good bit of money and make a good living for themselves. Or if you're going to go back to school and potentially to get a better job, this video is perfect for you. We're going to cover some degrees that I think would be good. Just a couple examples, for the specific example, if you will. And we're going to cover the concept of return on investment, and that's the biggest thing that you hear some people talk about when going to college, at least the smart ones, anyways, because of the fact that this is truly, if you're going to pay for college, this is truly the concept that you're going to go there for, hopefully to make a positive return on investment. So let's get right into it. So I have out here the return on investment, and what a return on investment is a ratio between net profit and cost of investment. So essentially, I mean, that can be applied to a business or a company or anything like that. And that's probably what this specific definition's mostly for, because they're going to earn that net profit and the cost of investment that they're putting into, like raw materials, labor, employees, etc. So, but we can also turn this into something based on just an everyday person. So you could put the ratio between, you could still continue to say net profit and the cost of investment, and that cost of investment would be college education, secondary school, whatever it may be, certification, whatever it may be. That could be your cost of investment, and then the net profit is the money you're earning against that and how fast you can potentially pay that off. And that's the biggest thing. So let's get right into it. It says college, according to the College Board, and you guys can look up all these stats if you want to, and you can look up your specific job or specific major to see how it works in comparison to some of these other things. But it says, according to College Board, the average cost of tuition and fees for the 2017 through 2018 school year was $34,740 at private colleges, around $10,000 for state residents at public colleges, and $25,000 for out-of-state residents attending public colleges. So that's just tuition. That's basic, and I this $10,000 number, I think that's really low, because that's a full year worth of college. I would say even closer to this 20,000 number here, because I think that would be a good price. I don't know where that 10,000 number comes from, and whether that's really true. If that is true, good for us, because that $10,000, I mean, yeah, that's a lot of money, but it's not as much as 50,000 or 60,000 or 70,000 like some of these colleges are making you pay just to attend them. So it should say for lenience in being fair that the average cost of a school year is about $20,000, and then you may also have some other expenses such as room and board if you're staying on campus, or even if you're staying off campus, and books and stuff like that. So let's say, just to be fair, let's just say it's $30,000 a year. Let's say that for this example, it's $30,000 a year. So that means, what that means is, college is going to cost you about $120,000 for 4 years. Okay, $120,000 for 4 years. Oops, wrong button. Okay, $120,000 for 4 years for a bachelor's degree. Okay, so this is the baseline of colleges, and there are so many different things you can do with a bachelor's degree, and not everyone has to get a bachelor's degree. You can pay the $60,000 for 2 years for an associate's degree, but relatively, this is going to be the baseline for everything. So this 4-year bachelor degree, and I broke it down into 2 categories. There are just some majors that this is where it comes to a very big decision, because this is where it can make and break your entire life potentially. Because you're going to choose a college, say you're going to go for something smaller like telecommunications, like a telecommunications major. This was my main goal when I went to college. I wanted to be in radio broadcasting, but as the more and more I researched it and the more and more I learned about it, I saw things like these numbers. Now, $50,000, that may not be a bad number, but that is high end for the thing like this. Starting out in the radio business, you're going to be making about $18,000, as you guys see there. And then if you're lucky, you'll make about $25,000 within like 3 years. That is not a lot of money. Now, granted, you can live off that, and you could be okay, but you're going to be pushing. You're going to be pushing all sorts of different things. You're going to be very hard to do so. And like I said, some people do it, but I mean, it depends what kind of life you want to live. If that's okay with you and this is your dream, go for it. You're just not going to be able to buy things such as vacations, nice cars, things such as that. Let alone, especially, what is this here? Okay, whatever. What a big deal. Especially if you're going to go pay, say this is a baseline of $30,000 a year. You could find something that's, or not, yeah, $30,000 a year. You could find a college that pays or that costs $40,000, $50,000, or $60,000 a year. So 60,000 times 4 is 2,400,000. Let that sink in for a second. $2,400,000 to make $18,000 a year when you get out. Let's pull up a calculator real quick. Calculator, pull that up. 240,000. I think I was saying 2,400,000. That was weird. $240,000. I apologize for that. That was really weird. Divided by 60,000. That's not right either. 240,000 divided by 18,000. Let's just say you're making this base salary every year. It's going to take you 13 and a third year to pay that off. To pay off the debt. If you got loans, they're making interest on that. And that's if you're paying the full $18,000 every year. You're going to be paying this off for 13 years or more, probably more like 15 or more. If you're putting all your money towards it, if you're not saving a single penny, and that's a problem. You're not going to be able to do this. You're going to be in debt for so long. This is granted the $60,000 example per year, but even the $120,000 example, $120,000 example. Let's pull this up. Divided by 18,000. It's still going to take 7 years. 7 years to do so. And again, that's if all your money is being put towards this investment of your education. So you look at that number and you stretch that into at least 10 years. Because if you're only making $18,000 a year, now granted, your money may go up. But in this example, if you're just making $18,000, you're going to be paying off this loan for 10 years or 15 years or even more years than that, depending how aggressively you're attacking this. So ultimately what that means is you're going to owe either a lot of money in interest, or you're going to have to go get another job and to supplement the current income that you have of this $18,000. Like I said, you can do it, but it's not worth necessarily going to get a degree to work in one thing and potentially make a low amount of money when you could be going somewhere like, I've seen some places that'll hire you on for $10 an hour, or I've even seen there's this local car wash near me that I believe is spreading nationwide here soon enough, that offers you, $40,000 starting out for their managers. That's $22,000 higher than that $18,000, and you don't have to go to college for it. So you just gotta think about that. Is this $120,000 worth the investment? In this case, it certainly is not. This is not. You would have to find a very cheap public school or community college to make this worth the return on the investment to be a good one. And then let's go down to another example. This is where the choices come very important. You see this major accounting, you know what an accountant is. They're a very in-demand job right now. Like I said, these are just all examples. But you look at an accountant, and straight out of college, whether they go for 4 years or they go for 5 years and they get their CPA and they get their master's degree. So even if it is $150,000 total for the 5 years, we'll calculate that all out. But on average, especially if you're a CPA, you're going to be making $60,000 starting out. So let's take that $60,000 and divide it by the 150. Let's just say they're a CPA, because CPAs have to get their master's degree, divided by $60,000, and you see that number shrink to 2.5. 2.5 years if you put all that 60K a year into this. Now, granted, you're not going to do that. But I could see them paying off this debt in 5 years. I really could. And they may accrue a little bit of interest, but I mean, 5 years, that's just 5 years of your life. As a CPA, the potential of earning money is extraordinary. You could be making $100,000 a year, $120,000, depending on where you're at. Now that may be high end, and it may take you several years to get there, but I mean, that is a good return on investment. And that's the concept that you guys hopefully need to understand, that picking your major, especially when you're going to college, or picking a career out of high school, or whatever it may be. Maybe you're 35 right now and you don't want to go back to college, or you don't want to go to college at all. Find a career that will set you straight for the rest of your life, that will make you so you can help your future generations, help make sure you can retire with plenty of money, help make sure you can invest, help to make sure your family's okay, help to make sure you can go on things such as vacations once you're financially sound, and all of these things. It doesn't matter, as long as you make this smart decision and you look at something like return on investment. I think perhaps this is the biggest thing. And for me personally, as I said, I came in looking at telecommunications. Let me get rid of this real quick. I came in looking at telecommunications. I mean, that would probably make me the happiest. And I switched over to accounting because I liked the money that they could earn, the money potential. And I switched out of that again. I switched over to finance. And what I believe I have found is a happy medium where I can still talk to people, still teach people, still do things such as that, but also make a good bit of money. You got to find that happy medium in your life. And you may not know it right away, but I do believe that it's not necessarily overly hard to find that, And you may be asking yourself, so what about doctors? You hear about them going to school for 10 years, 12 years, 8 years, whatever it may be, and paying $300,000 in schooling alone and getting out when they're 30. How can that be a good return on investment? So let's read this. According to the AAMC, the average cost for a medical degree is $150K on top of any previous schooling. So we look at this. Let's just say $300,000. Now, I don't know whether that's overly generous or overly lenient, or whatever you want to call it. But I do believe that's a solid number. I do believe, and I think I could probably put $400,000 there, and we could potentially even do that. But you look at the average annual salary down here for a doctor. According to that same website, the average annual salary for a doctor, and now there are definitely ranges of this. I think the low end's probably about $90,000, maybe even $80,000. I would say probably $80,000 starting out. Maybe even $70,000 if you want to be even more lenient. But they can earn $300,000 a year, $500,000 a year. So let's just use that 105 average salary divided by 105. Make sure we add the zeros. 2.85. This is why when you look at doctors and you say to yourself, well, I mean, they're paying $300,000, whereas I'm only paying $120 for my schooling. That is correct. But you may be a tuba player working part-time for a symphony, making $25,000 a year, while they're making $150,000 a year, $300,000 a year within 2 or 3 years, and you haven't moved in your job or whatever it may be. You just got to think about that. I mean, now granted, not everyone can be a doctor, but it's all about picking the right thing, doing something that not only will make you happy, but it will also make you financially happy. Because people say money isn't the key to happiness, but I do believe it is a big portion of happiness. Because if you don't have any money, you're not going to be happy. That's just the bottom line. If you don't have any money, you can't go on vacations. You can, but then you get back from those vacations and the debt piles up and you get more and more stressed. Obviously, that isn't a good situation to be in. So you just have to be able to pick a career, make smart decisions that will make you financially sound and give you a good return on your investment. Because to go out of college, you should be able to pay off your debt within 5 to 6 years. And that might even be on the high end. Hopefully we can pay off our debt within 3 years. And no, I'm not a proponent of people saying, well, college should be free for everybody. No, that's not true, because then your taxes are going to be up and you're going to be paying that for a much longer time. And then the value of a college degree isn't going to be as valuable because everyone's going to have one. So you just got to think about that. that's going to wrap it up for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Whether you guys believe you made a good return on your investment, in whatever it may be, in your regular investments, in your personal educational investments on yourself. You just got to be able to find those good investments and hopefully make a positive return on your investment and not lose all this money, not be stuck in debt for 15 years like we covered, because I don't want to see anybody end up like that. That's no way to live. And when you're paying off debt for 15 years, you're just going to feel trapped and you're going to feel like you can never escape it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys learned anything in this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Also hit the subscribe button if this was useful. I'm hopefully going to be able to continue producing more and more good content such as this one, because I do believe this is a very powerful video for not only, everyone to see, but specifically those people who are getting ready to go to college, who may be nervous, who may not be ready to, who may not have already picked a major or a career to follow. You just got to be smart about it and take the things I've said in this video, take them to heart, really think about them. And like I said, I'll continue to help you guys in the near future. So go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy investing.